Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where you're located. Hope you all are having an awesome Thursday. It's a rainy day here, so hoping the sun will peek through those clouds. We've had a couple of days where the sun's shining and then all of a sudden it's raining again. Typical Washington weather, but happy it's spring. There's a lot of cool, exciting things going on here at Zillow Group Mortgages, and we're pretty excited to talk about them today. For those of you who are new to our webinars, my name is Mary Weiss and I'm the content manager here. My role is to provide our webinars and all sorts of content, resources, things like that for all of our lenders here who like working with Zillow. Along with me, I have Jessica. I'll let Jessica introduce herself.
Hi, Mary. I'm Jessica Schwab, and I work out of our Lincoln, Nebraska office, and I'm on our mortgage support team. So if you're sending in tickets or emails to us, more than likely you've probably had the opportunity to speak with me via email. And our team is just here to assist you in making your life easier with your profiles and answering review questions, and really anything that you guys run into that you're needing assistance with.
Fantastic. Well, we do this monthly recurring webinar because we find that there's always some area where we can provide some additional information, insights about what's going on with Zillow. We've got a lot of updates to share. I'm getting my screen pulled up here. All right, so now you should see on your screen Zillow Group Lender Academy. This is just some information for you guys where you can find our resources. I'll actually be doing a live demo of this in just a moment here, but this is the resource center where you can find all of our webinars, our courses, things like that. And if you want a recording of this webinar or access to that, it will be available on our resource center next week, so check that out. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us. The mortgage webinars email is if you have any suggestions for content, any questions about our webinars, things like that. And if you have any questions about your profiles or if you need help with that, then you can reach out to mortgagesupport@zillowgroup.com, and that will go to Jessica and her team where they can help you with those questions. We will be answering live questions for you at the end. So you should see in a floating toolbar somewhere on your screen, a Q&A. So you can pop your questions in there. We'll be keeping an eye on those, but we'll be answering those towards the end of the webinar to make sure we have a chance to cover all of the information we'd like to share with you today. So before I do the live demo, I wanted to quickly touch upon what's new in our Lender Resource Center. This is something that I've been working on for I want to say almost a year now. It's our Lender Academy. You've seen this probably in past webinars where I talk about this, but you don't see it anywhere on our Lender Resource Center. Well, guess what? It's there now. So Lender Academy is a section of self-paced instructional courses. We have 5 of them on our site right now, and they will range from various topics. Right now, our 5 courses are kind of an intro to Zillow Group and Zillow Group Mortgages. So if you're new to Zillow and you're just getting started out on the platform, I would definitely check out those courses. Our webinars are now easier to find. Before, you kind of had to dig through the menus to find where the webinars are. Now they're in front and center. So that's fairly easy for you to find. And then we're now adding more content more frequently. And that's something that I do, and then I'm potentially getting a team to help me with. So some cool things are happening there. I'm working off of 2 monitors here. I have a TV screen to my right, and that's where everything else shows up. So there we go. So here's what our Lender Resource Center looks like today. And you see at the top here, there are 4 different menu items. There's resources, Lender Academy, success stories, and webinars. So resources is where you can find one-off articles. All of our past resources and articles are still here on the site, so you can come and check out new materials here. So tips for requesting client reviews, components of a competitive Zillow Group profile, negative reviews. That's a really good article. It's very popular, as you can imagine. So on and so forth. There's a lot of great resources here. Now, the Lender Academy with the courses is set up in a different way. So how this works is you'll see different courses here. As I said, there are 5. And it'll tell you what the level is. So beginner, again, if you're brand new to Zillow Group trying to get started out this is where you can find those types of courses, and they'll tell you how many lessons or topics are within each one. So then you'll click on start, and then you'll walk through the courses, and the course with all the topics included. So you'll see all of those here. And you can link back to those individual ones. If you ever talk to our customer service team or our sales team, our business consultants, they might send you links to these courses because there's some great articles within them. So that's how that works. I'm working on adding some more courses in the near future, especially if you are advertising with us. We want to provide some resources for you there. We've got success stories, which are testimonials about our advertising, and I won't pull that up. And then, of course, our webinars, where you, of course, registered for today's webinar. And if you are on our platform, on our advertising platform, then we've got the business consultant one here as well. And then past webinars, nothing changed here, but it's just easier to find. So that's where we're at with our Lender Resource Center. I hope that's a great update for everyone. I know that I'm really excited about it. It's been a long time coming. I've been planning this out for the last year with outlining everything, trying to figure out how everything is going to be structured. And now that it's live, I'm obviously really thrilled. So that's the world I live in. And we're also going to talk a lot about reviews today. So I'm going to hand it over to Jessica so she can do that.
Thanks, Mary, for touching on the Lender Resource Center again. All of your work has been excellent on that. So we're really excited to start sharing that with all of our lenders too when questions come up. So I think it'll be a great resource. So today we do have one update for you as well, in addition to the Lender Resource Center changes. Last month, we brought you the information in regards to verified reviews. And so verified reviews are for consumers when they're getting in contact with you through either custom quoting or Zillow long form or co-marketing. So basically how it works now is if you have someone that reaches out to you through that form of communication, they were just receiving an email after they had gotten the contact, and they were asked to complete a review for you through that email form. And that was what was creating the verified contact or the verified review on your profile. And what we found was we wanted to provide you even a higher level of service and start going through and connecting those borrowers that were getting those contacts from you and actually linking those to their email address without having to go through the email process. So you will see that you may have more verified reviews on your profile now. And this is because it's not requiring the borrower to actually respond through that email. So it's actually just linking up directly with their email address. So, and that's just something that we're doing internally for you to give you more verified reviews on your profile. And I think this will definitely help. Verified reviews are something that we're utilizing more here at Zillow. So the more verified reviews that we can get for lenders, the better. So hopefully all of you will see that as a benefit as well. And it's just something that we're doing internally automatically for you. So it doesn't go retroactive to when the change was made, which was about a month ago. So it's just really verified reviews from about a month ago moving forward. So, but you may see some more verified reviews showing up on your profile soon.
And I have that screenshot pulled up, what it looks like when you see a review that came from a verified contact. So we've talked about this before. It's pretty, if you want more information about how that works specifically, you can check out one of those past webinars. We have that playlist on the Resource Center as well. I feel like this is such a great resource. If you go to Amazon and you read through reviews, you see the verified reviews there. These are people who bought something through Amazon. We're kind of mirroring that with the contacts who come through our platform and making sure that they actually spoke with that lender. So you can rest assured that that actually provides more of a verified review. Like these are real reviews coming from real people who actually spoke with you. So that's the benefit of having these on your profile.
Exactly. Yeah, I think having that verified aspect makes potential borrowers feel much more comfortable knowing that there was an actual contact that we tracked in our system between that lender and that potential borrower. So I think just like you said with Amazon, it just creates a level of comfort for people to know that it's valid. So I think it's a great thing too. So we'll move right on into our reviews information. So the first thing that I want to cover is requesting reviews. So that is really the first step in receiving reviews on your Zillow profile. So it's very easy to get to. You basically just log into your lender account on Zillow, and you'll click Lender Hub in the top right-hand corner, and then you'll see reviews along the top bar of your page. And once you click on that, you're going to be in your reviews dashboard. And there's a few different pieces of information that you'll be able to utilize on this page. The first thing you'll see is you'll see your profile URL at the top of the page that you'll actually be able to copy, and you'll be able to send that link out to your borrowers. So if you need tips on how to do that, I would definitely recommend referencing the Lender Resource Center. We have information surrounding how to request reviews and best policies around that. So definitely reference that information if you have questions on how to do it. But that's the first piece of the pie, I guess you can say, in the reviews on your profile. So the second thing that you'll see on your account on that lender or on that reviews dashboard is reviews that have been submitted to your profile. And there's going to be three different things that you'll see on there. Published reviews, you'll see pending reviews, and then you'll also see returned reviews. Published, obvious. They've been published to your profile. They're showing on your public page. Any pending reviews, those are reviews that are still waiting to be moderated by our moderation team. And those go through a process of being moderated. So it can take about 3 to 5 days to get those from pending to showing either published or returned. The last thing that you'll maybe see on there is returned. And returned means we've returned it to the borrower for editing. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily a rejected review. It just means that we need additional information potentially from that borrower. So I wanted to hit on some of the high points of why we see reviews being returned. I think this is really important information for all lenders to know, because we do get so many emails in about this very topic. Most people get a little defensive and they're like, why is this review why did this review get sent back? And just because it's sent back isn't necessarily a bad thing. So I want to just give you some peace of mind surrounding that because there are so many questions that we have surrounding returned reviews. I'll just hit on a few high points here. So reviews can be returned for a wide variety of reasons, but the biggest reason is because it doesn't contain enough content. So we always want to make sure that the review is relevant and it's providing value for potential borrowers. And if the review doesn't have enough content, it's not going to do that. So that's probably the number one reason why a review is returned. And that information gets shared directly with the borrower via email, and we tell them specifically what needs to be done to their review. They'll have the option to actually click on their review in a review link in that same email, and they'll get taken directly to their review to edit. So rest assured, as soon as they see that email come through, they can click on that option on that review link, and they'll be able to get right in and edit their review and resubmit. And then once that's resubmitted, it gets remoderated by the moderation team. And once again, if there's any changes that need to be made, we'll communicate that with the borrower, or we will publish it. So, but that's by and far the biggest reason why we're seeing reviews being returned to borrowers. The next reason is that you're having borrowers submit reviews from your office. This is not allowed because it's actually considered potentially fraudulent activity. And we want to make sure that borrowers are submitting reviews unedited, I guess. You know, we want to make sure that they can say what they want in their review and they can be honest. And typically speaking, they're probably not going to take the time or effort to write a really good detailed review if they're trying to do it maybe at their closing from your office. So allow them to write that in the comfort of their home or on their phone or something like that. So we also see a high rate of potential fraud because we've seen it where lenders are submitting reviews to try to amp up their review totals. And so they're creating fictitious accounts. And so that is the biggest reason why we don't allow reviews to be submitted from your office. So if you've been doing that in the past, please negate that option that you've been doing and just send that review link to your borrowers and let them do that at home. The next reason is that we sometimes see is reviews are self-promoting. So they maybe have the borrower's contact information in there and they're trying to be helpful and they're trying to, you know, say something maybe to the effect of, feel free to call me or email me if you have questions about this lender. But we don't ever want to give that information out. So we do require that information to be removed from the review prior to it being published. If reviews are being submitted from outside of the country, we do request that those reviews be submitted once you're back in the US. We do give the borrowers that information. We have a lot of people that like to write reviews while they're on vacation and, you know, they have some downtime. But just for verifying reviews and meeting our technical checks, we request that those reviews are submitted within the US. We have a lot of people outside of the country that are maybe in the military or something like that in a special circumstance where, you know, they don't have the ability to submit that once they're back in the US because it may be quite some time. If you have a situation like that, just tell your borrower to send us an email and just explain the situation. We typically give them that information in the review feedback as well. But if you know that there's a special circumstance surrounding this borrower, I would just say give them a heads up and say, you know, oh, it looks like since you are out of the country, our moderation team may have an issue with that review. So just give them that feedback. That provides the ability just to kind of take care of that review before it maybe even gets returned to the borrower.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and we do have a lot of people in the military that are purchasing homes maybe while they're overseas, and they want to write the reviews for the lenders because they've been so helpful, but then we kick it back and because of that. So as a lender, if you can just give them that feedback right away, it'll be a great thing. And just it makes the process easier for everyone.
Yeah, being proactive is, there's a lot of things you can do to be proactive in making sure that you don't end up getting a review returned. You know, just asking the borrower to provide some additional information or kind of come at them with a few questions in mind so that they have an idea of what kind of content needs to be included in that review. So it's less likely to be returned for not enough information, or, you know, it's from your office or wherever that's creating concerns, then you're kind of mitigating that beforehand.
Exactly. And I think just providing you all with this education, it allows you to request reviews better and you're just more prepared, which means then you can give the correct information to your borrowers and just makes the process so much smoother. So We just have a couple more here to go over. We do not allow peer reviews. We have a lot of, of course, you're going to be working with, real estate agents and other professionals in the industry. So if you're working with them on a personal level, feel free to ask them to write a review. We just do not accept peer-to-peer reviews for like mutual client situations. So if those get submitted, those do get turned back over, and those types of reviews will not be published. And then the last thing that we do see happen a lot is a borrower submits a review and they want to give credit where credit's due. So they're mentioning maybe their real estate agent by name, and they're mentioning other people in your office by maybe first, last name situation. And since the review is just for you and it's on your profile associated with your account, we're not able to publish the names of those other individuals that have been mentioned in your review. If they're maybe just giving a shout out, first name only, that's totally fine. But if they're, giving first name, last name, maybe mentioning title companies or the real estate office that they worked with, that's when we have to send that back and ask for that additional content to be removed. So, and it's really just because we don't know if they've signed off on terms and conditions, whether the situation was good or bad. We don't want to be mentioning any other people in a review that's going on your public profile on our site. So it's really to protect everyone involved. But that is definitely one, probably right behind not enough content. And so those two are probably the biggest ones that we see. So that is what I have to share. Hopefully that was a good overview for all of you. Hopefully that gave you a good idea of kind of what we're seeing on our end and ways that you can improve, just to be more knowledgeable and just communicating with your borrowers. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A or in the chat tabs at the bottom of your page, and we would be glad to answer those questions. If you have a specific question about maybe a certain review or your account in particular, and it's maybe a little bit more specific, feel free to email our team at mortgagesupport@zillowgroup.com, and we can answer those maybe more detailed questions just on a one-off basis as well. So either way works.
Perfect. Well, I'll keep the Q&A open just to see if we can get some of those questions in. Oh, looks like we have a chat. Let's see. So the question is, if I pay for lender marketing, how do I come up under the relevance section under the lender finder? It's a great question.
So right now, Carlos, we're making some changes to the lender directory or the lender review section of our site. So we just currently made some changes, and we're going to be making some further changes in the next couple of weeks. So, but the relevance is really based off of a few things. We have a very complex algorithm that's used. And so it's based off of distance to the area that's being searched, your verified reviews, your overall review count, the recency of your reviews. And right now, if you're, so all of that information goes into effect to try to figure out where you're going to end up in that lender reviews section of our site. So just to be real honest, most people aren't using that to find a lender. Most people are using that if they know who their lender is and they just need to look them up by name. So, I mean, that's definitely something just to keep in mind. Most people aren't going there to find a lender to work with on our site.
Another point that I want to make on that is just because you're advertising with Zillow doesn't mean that it's going to pull you up higher in that review section. In fact, we actually just made some changes with our advertising requirements. With long form, it used to be that you had to have at least 3 reviews to get started with the platform, and that's no longer required. So we actually don't require lenders to have reviews in order to get started on the long form platform. So we did that because reviews are such a stress point for a lot of lenders, and with some of the updates we're making in our system, we find that our consumers have a better experience in other areas. So that's what we're focusing on instead. Not to say that reviews are not important, because they are. We're just de-emphasizing that as a requirement in advertising.
Mm-hmm. Carlos, if you can, send mortgage support at Zillow.com or ZillowGroup.com an email. And I want to take a look at your account just to make sure that the other thing, if you're not showing up at all, you may need to update your profile. So if you're not finding yourself at all in the relevant search, it could be that your profile is outdated. So you would need to log into your account, edit your profile, and go through that process of updating because you may just not be showing up in there because that's outdated. So that could be the other thing. Yeah, you're welcome. Let us know if we can help with anything else.
I will also pull up our screen here so that you can all see the same information I shared at the beginning. Here we go. So again, if you want to check out our resource center, the link's there, and our email addresses are on the screen as well. So if you have questions about your profile, your account, anywhere the support team can help you, that's the mortgagesupport@zillowgroup.com email there. The mortgage webinars one is if you have questions about any webinar recordings, you have suggestions for topics you want to see. You know, I don't actually get a lot of suggestions for topics, which you'd think I would since I have an open invitation to that. But I'm open to hearing what types of things that you guys need from us to be able to do better with your profile, your advertising, maybe just in general. You have maybe your new LO starting out, or you're trying to understand how to move more into a purchase mindset versus being on the refi mindset. Maybe you need some sales updates, training, that kind of thing. Just let me know what you think that would be helpful. You can send it to me, or you can even comment it here. But I love getting that kind of feedback because the Resource Center is your resource. It's here for you to do, to have as a resource for whatever area you're in with your career. So let me know. It's what I'm here for.
Yeah, any ideas for topics would be great too. So we want to make sure that the information that we're providing to you is the most relevant and information that you care about hearing. So yeah, if there's other things, please let us know. We'd be glad to cover those for you.
And I'm also going to launch a poll. If you have, let's see here, there it goes. Just kind of curious to see where everyone's at with reviews. If you're having challenges with reviews, maybe that would help me determine what kind of content to put on a resource center, like what your toughest challenge is with getting reviews, and then also how many reviews you have in total, so that we can kind of see if there's certain trends there. Oh, and Jordan, I see your question. Do we offer advertising for reverse mortgages? We do not for reverse mortgages specifically. However, I can get you in touch with someone on our sales team, and they can go over what options we do provide in our advertising. They can go over your market and things like that more specifically. I can send you, if you want to send me an email, I can get you in touch, or you can just, I will write down your name and then I can try to follow up with you directly if you're interested. And most of our advertising platform focuses on purchase because that's kind of where consumers are at right now, given rates. Rates have been pretty, so Jordan, sorry to cut everyone else off. The email is on the screen. I don't know if you're dialed in. But you can email mortgagewebinars@zillowgroup.com. But going back to our long form platform, it focuses more specifically on purchase because that's where consumers are at. Rates have been pretty stable over the last couple of years. So anyone who is generally going to do a refi has probably already done it. So that business is kind of decreasing a bit. Not to say that it won't ever happen again, but we're seeing trends moving more into longer term purchase. So that's where our platform focuses on. But we'll be happy to go over that more in detail with you on a one-on-one basis. It looks like we have one chat. And that's all we'll have room for, 'cause we're at the end of our time here. Carlos, thanks for your suggestion, a webinar that's about our advertising and how to make the most of our advertising dollars. So that's actually a good idea. I will start working on that. So thank you for your suggestion. Again, if you have any other questions or suggestions, feel free to send them our way. We're happy to help. All right, so we're at the end of our time. I want to thank you all for joining us today, for taking time out of your busy days. We know that sometimes middle of the month can be tough for some folks, but thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon. Again, email us if you have any questions. We're, again, happy to help you. So take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.